Did you have a POV review? You did. You did.
Yeah, I put it in VOD links.
Yep, that's right. Stream my screen here. And a quick look at the OPGG. Wood 11, yes, sir. Is that it?
Yep.
All right. So, do you have any specific things about this game you'd like to cover?
Mostly my losses nowadays. The main thing I noticed with my gameplay that I feel like I'm mainly missing is just team fighting and like ability usage. But
Oh.
I feel like I'm missing more than that. But I don't know like what else I'm missing.
Mm.
Like most of my losses, I feel like I just don't know what happened.
All right. So,
Generally,
what do
like
you feel like you're doing well in these games? Are
I feel like my pathing, my camera management, my like jungle tracking, my pinging is all like perfect level, like near like challenger level.
Mhm.
But then my team fighting I know is pretty poor, but I don't know anything else that I'm missing other than team fighting. I feel like that's the only thing like when I review my games, I feel like that's the only thing I notice. I don't really notice anything else that I'm like not doing as well as I could be.
Like this is on all champs here or Diana only?
Diana and Hecarim, those are my main.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the Diana build has been kind of shifting a lot lately. Maybe that has something to do with like knowing your limits with the champion.
Well, not really like my limits. I know my limits well. It's more like I struggle to like have like good ability usage and like target making
Target
like
selection.
focusing the right person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll definitely look into that aspect then for sure.
But I'm also wondering if I'm missing anything else other than that.
Yeah, there's probably something missing. There's always something missing,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. So like,
That's what I mean.
so you were looking to go Grandmaster potentially this year or
Yep,
before
hopefully.
the season ends. Yeah.
I
Yep.
think this Rise was Grandmaster. Not this. I think actually, yeah, I think that was this Rise. I don't know why it shows a Master border for him.
Mm, okay. Okay. So what do you think about this game when you go into the draft? Like, what's going on through your head right now?
I'm thinking of zero gank set up top because Renekton can just GP has no CC. GP doesn't really do that much damage early. Renekton can just E a W and E away.
Mm,
I have lots of kill pressure bot, CC bot. I have a Pike, and it's a Brand and Jin. They're like not mobile. We can easily dive or kill them and poke them, and I can like cover my Caitlyn Pike so that they can keep pushing and getting prio. And we can look for Drakes and stuff.
mhm.
And mid just kind of just like shoves and roams with me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a phase for Rise. It's not really highly gankable for you, but the thing is
Yep.
with this Karma mid lane, like it's gonna be against the Rise mid, so it's not like you have this push and roam Karma playstyle which this champion wants to have, but instead you are just gonna be chilling in a neutral wave against the Rise who can like so the thing the way I think about Karma is that the Karma is a really good map playing pick when you pair it against the champion who can't actually contest the wave clear. So what's going to happen in this lane is it's probably going to end up being pretty neutral because the Karma can't really keep perma in this wave without Ryze being able to contest it. And but the other thing is like you have these windows when Ryze runs out of mana, and then you can like look for play around the mid push.
Right.
So the thing is, like, Karma doesn't really have that much actionable prio in this game because Rice is just going to be able to uh, really hard match the wave clear.
That's true. He has great wave clear.
Yeah. Also about this bot matchup, who do you think gets the push here?
Defi, uh,
So we are talking
probably
first
enemy
wave.
bot. I think enemy bot because they're double ranged and Pike isn't.
Yep.
But I feel like it could go either way because if Pike lands a hook level 1 and then they just like all in.
Yep. I don't think they want to all in level one. Probably not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, Caitlyn will want to abuse range if you look at the summoners. But yeah, so Pike is melee, that's right. But we
Yeah.
also have to remember that he's running Targon. So he's running the kill the minions instantly support item, whereas this guy will be running the no push, more money, uh, what the fuck is it called? Spell tips.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of a few things we have to consider when we are talking about like having these first wave pushers. Also, if you want to, I mean, you need to start thinking about how the first wave goes, because the first wave determines what's going to happen in the next 3 to 4 minutes in the game. So, for example, if your bot lane here, let's actually go back to where we can see the draft. So, for example, if you bot lane here gets a few minions advantage on the bot lane, and especially in early game, like when a lane has minion advantage, it's really hard for champions to overcome that advantage.
Yeah, the level 2 spike and the
Yep.
minion damage.
Yep, the level 2 spike especially. Yep, that's exactly right. And yeah, it's just like they don't have access to enough of wave clear. So what usually ends up happening is they kind of lose the first wave first, but then because Pike players and usually players who run Targon and the last hit the minions fucking item, support item, they usually use those 2 stacks on the second wave, which ensures them kind of their level 2 prior. So I think your bot lane would actually probably get the prior here. Obviously, what I'm talking about here is like super theoretical, and it's like, oh, yeah, but this doesn't happen outside of pro play. But it's like something you can kind of start to expect from laners to kind of act towards. And the other thing is, top lane, this guy wants to poke in with Q. It's going to draw the aggro or switch the aggro of the minions, and then it's going to cause a slow push towards Renekton's side. But then again, Renekton wants to trade in with empowered Q inside the minion wave. So I think the top wave is kind of a question mark, but bot lane should get the prior here. So if you want to play this game for Drakes, you just really have to minimize the ganks Sejuani can get on this bot lane.
Yep.
And this is a fairly good scaling comp as well. So yeah, I'd probably in this game I would probably be looking to play for the level 6. Pre-level 6, this game is like outside of bot lane, this game is pretty chill. So I'd be looking to play for the level 6 power spike and just start stacking up on the Drakes, get prior on this bot lane, as you said. It's a really good game plan to have in this game, I think. Mm-hmm. So Giovanni is probably also going to start topside. So I think you have to be aware of it in these matchups when the enemies play these tank junglers who like to gank Amumu. Zac, maybe not so much Zac, since Zac likes to do level 4 clear. Right? Does he start unknown? Is that
I think he started top, yeah.
well, it's kind of a fake clear if it is. But yeah, we can safely assume Sejuani starts top here, because why would he want to pad towards the GP? So I'm gonna slow down this a bit so we can actually see the camera. So yeah, what you're doing here is this is what I do a lot myself as well, like spam the camera. But what I've found out for it to be is it's kind of unnecessary. So what you can do instead is just you can keep looking at the minimap, because okay, so the way I think about this is every time you pan on the wave, you see what you expecting to see, whatever. Like I like that you're checking the nearby wave people moving on to the other side of the map. But like what you're doing by doing this is you start to look at the lane, and then you are missing kind of the map. And when you're missing the map, you are not seeing like what's actually being happening in the map. So instead of like constantly checking out the waves, you can just keep your eyes permanently on the mini map, and when like people get really close, health bar start moving, then you can like start looking, right? Obviously, all
Usually,
this.
yeah. Usually, why I look top there is because, as you know, like in this season where in this new season where they added the like preventing the invades by making it do less damage.
Yep.
So now like we can easily look for a same level 3 gank, same side
Yep.
gank.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like looking for that.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I like that, especially during first clear. Yeah, I think that's important to look for the same side gank, and especially for the wave. Yep. So that's good.
Yep.
But like in
So I'm
terms
just
of
saying in
like
case they're trading.
yeah, but in terms of like moving forward into the game, it becomes a lot more unnecessary, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like as you see here, I think after I commit to my
Yep.
Raptors, I never look top again.
Yep. Really good. This you're protecting with ward. So did we actually check tap at all? What did Sejuani do? This is what I don't like, that we didn't get to see what Sejuani showed up with.
Oh yeah, that's true. I couldn't see CS
We didn't see level.
or buffs.
Yeah, she's obviously gonna have blue buff, but is she level 2 or 3? That's what I'm interested in. Guess she's gonna be level 3. But
Probably level 3
she?
because 240.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, just make sure check tab always when you see the enemy jungler. Really good rule of thumb. So now, as you can see, getting action in the bot lane. Minimap is moving. Now this is a good time to look out for what's happening bot exactly. We get a flash. You have to instantly see this, and the way you see this is to, like, it's keep your eyes all the time focused on the minimap. So like at all times, just look at the minimap. I know you have a lot of champ mastery in Diana, so this clearing bit shouldn't be too complicated for you. So again, a flash trade happens on bot lane. We actually didn't get
Yeah.
to witness it.
Yep, double flashes too.
Yep. So that's what I would have liked to see. I would have loved to see it. Okay, so now we check. Now we actually see the Sejuani CS here. 13 CS. So she cleared the ward and the 3 can stop. But yep. And again, before you move for this, right, this is going to be wave 3. So this is going to be a cannon wave they're pushing in now. So cannon wave is the wave you want to dive, right? So if there is a dive possibility on bot side, it's going to be now, before you even do this Crux. So these are another thing
Yeah.
you want to look out for when you are doing this kind of full clear sequences. You just always want to look out for, oh, is this diveable? Is this diveable? Because if it is diveable, it is going to be diveable now because they're going to crash this wave 3 now.
Yeah, cannon wave would be great to dive on.
Yep. Oh, wait, this is wave 4? Yeah, this is wave 4.
I think now it is because I finished Krugs.
Yep. Yep, nothing to do here. I'm surprised she still hasn't shown on the Raptors. Maybe she dodged the ward.
I think she was just sitting bot to cover the dive, maybe.
Hmm. I think she probably dodged the ward. It was fairly obvious that Karma placed the ward. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
happen
true.
here. We do have a Pyke roam, we could look for it. Yeah, she skipped or dodged the ward, or just recalled after bot side. Yep, just recall with the Pyke. Nothing to do here, literally nothing to do.
I just like to ward before
Oh yeah, this is good.
recalling.
Yep, I didn't realize you had a ward already. Yep, this is perfect. Perfect ward. This helps your liners a lot. Actually,
Yep.
surprisingly a lot. I like having yellow trinket in the first clear.
Yeah, same. I love it for that.
Yep, it's really good, especially when you're pathing opposite.
Because one lane, one ward for solo, one lane, one ward for solo lane, and one ward for mid lane.
Yep. Yep. Being a bit paranoid, rightfully so. So now we're just playing for the level 6. We obviously want to look towards the spot play because there are no flashes. They were probably pinged. Bot lane is really smurfing. This is really good. I would just take. What are we looking at? Okay. What makes you start batting towards here?
I was thinking it looks like he's gonna like heavy trade GPs and he's gonna use all his abilities. Maybe I could try to do something.
Okay. So what I'm thinking when I see this spot play being made is that Trek is going to be up in a few seconds. Your bot lane is really healthy. I would just be patting down and get the Trek on spawn. Because you already have a man advantage down in the bot lane because they just solo killed the solo killed the Jhin. So here we kind of like missed the opportunity to get the free track with the prior we have established in the bot side.
But short death time is early game though, so by the time I like run down the Drake, Jin would be back in like lane.
Yep, but what he would do is he would be catching the wave, he would be trying to push in the next wave before rotating, because that's what laners always want to do. They always want to push in the next wave, right?
Yeah, that's
Laners,
true.
it's like a fucking rule. They just always do it. It's like kind of like a few seasons ago how junglers would always flash for the crap or whatever, right? You know? It's like
Yeah.
laners still do this. Also, this Sejuani behaving really weirdly. I love your wards. These wards are actually insanely useful. And the ward spot is really good. Second camp rotation. And now she shows. Okay. Yep, this is fine. I do think we ended up losing a bit of time and a tempo up on this top player. I want to recognize if there's
Because once
is
I saw
this.
him, I usually what you'd expect Renekton's to do is you'd expect him to like E, W, Q, and then E out, right?
Yep.
But he E'd in twice. So I thought he was gonna like
Oh,
full commit. Like if you see right here as I'm panning my camera.
he did E double E twice.
So E1 and then
Oh,
he
okay.
double E'd. So I thought, okay, he's doing something
Okay,
crazy.
yeah, actually
So
I
I
like
thought
this
this is
then.
my chance.
Yep, this is fun.
If he would have done the usual like E1, WQ, and E out, I would just continue clearing.
Yep. But now since you are obviously already here, I would just help this guy shove in the wave.
That's true. Yeah,
Because
he's so low.
yeah, he's
And
slow, he
Renekton's
cannot
full
push in the
fury.
wave, and he's in a slow push. He's just yeah, he's not gonna have a fun time. And if you end up having to go here later for either holding onto the wave or whatever the fuck, then you're gonna lose again. You're gonna lose prey on this Drake, right? And that's what we want. We want as early tracks as possible. We want to get the solving con going on. We have a really good scaling comp, but we kind of have to protect the laners. So you
Yeah.
can see how
But if
now we are losing like all the pressure on the actual Drake. I mean, we already lost it because mid and ADC recall at the same time. But yeah, now we are kind of like now we are kind of lost in the game, right?
yeah, because I was really scared of him getting dove.
Yep.
But I should have just shoved it before, like you said, and then I could have continued clearing the
Yep.
Drake.
You can still go. You can still go and shop. You can still go and shop because this guy is really fucked, and you have no business going to the bot side anyway. So I think it's just like go help this guy shop.
I asked him once and he said no, so I just got
I
confused there.
don't know.
I
Oh,
think you
it's
saw in
whatever.
the chat.
Does he have TP?
No, I think he had ignite.
Yep. So I wanted to see how long we ended up spending here. This is very earlier. So we basically get the recall at 6:30. Am I lost in the source? Where am I? Okay. Let me show up first time. So we spent 90 minutes not doing anything here because we refused to accept that okay, maybe we need to push in this wave. So obviously recognize that we need to push in this wave and that Caitlyn has been chunked out. And we basically have no pressure on this Drake anyway because Caitlyn has to recall for resources. Also, she got a kill recently, and I don't think she has recalled yet. So yeah, just take this ward, help this guy shop, and then you can freely move to the bot side of the map, and this guy should be like safe, right? He's gonna have a fun time. If he escort this wave all the way to the turret, this guy can freely enjoy the slow push into his turret, and then he can just claim the minions, and you can spend time bot side. Uh, Looking forward to ganking these guys, getting towards 6, hitting your camps, maybe looking for the Drake fight, stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, this is obviously a pretty major mistake here we missed.
that's true. Because I waste so much time just sitting here because of that mistake.
Yeah, yeah, we spent 90 seconds on top side. It's obviously unfortunate, but yeah, it's fine. We have to concede the Drake, but we had to concede it anyway. Sejuani played it really well, I assume accidentally, because the way she showed on the map was really fucking weird. But yeah, like you can see how because of that whole sequence, now we are moving back to top side. We are kind of assuming, I guess, that multicams here got stolen, either Raptors or Krugs. And I guess you want to match the Sejuani up top.
I think I just wanted to crab and continue like clearing down
Yeah. So you can
because
see
my
how
top side's respawning.
yeah. So you can see how we would have wanted to impact this bot lane matchup as much as possible. Your bot
Yeah,
lane was
instead
winning, they used flashes, but now we are just kind of like being really fucking hard stuck in this top side of the map. And now
yeah,
we have like the Crump is coming back up. Like it's just kind of whatever. I mean yeah. And now again like and now we are on Herald time on the other hand, we are now being forced to kind of path towards bot side because we are not getting 6 because we missed the crap. But if we actually get 6 from Crump, we might. It's gonna be level 5, level 6 Grom. So join the shows. Awesome. Just run through your pink ward, get the camps. Get the raptors. Yep. Yep, there was color vision, so we can't walk through the river entrance there. Oh, okay, this is good, actually. We
Yeah,
didn't
because
get the
I'm
6.
walking back up.
Yeah, and we didn't get the 6,
And
so
yeah, level 6.
level 6 always goes first. That's right. So let's see what we do next, because this is important. What I'd like for you to do next, go red first. Red raptors, use the mid and support move to either look for the top play or secure the herald. Okay, so raptors got stolen. Because this would have been, if you can look at the map, this would have been a perfect time for us to try to utilize the slow push we have set up in bottom lane and use the fact that Pyke is roaming and maybe look for an unfair fight or 4v3 for the herald here. Because right now the game is even. It's not like we are gonna lose the skirmish or the 4v3 here. Unless the branch shows up. But like, do the branch really show up? Usually for the 8-minute mark?
Does.
Okay, let's see.
Not every game, but at least like half my games they're usually hovering Herald by then.
Yep. But the issue here is that so the reason why at 8-minute mark supports and in pro play ADCs obviously like to run for the Herald is because that's the time when the Zeri Yumi lane hits level 6. So the 8-minute 20-second mark. So bot lane is usually hit level 6. Actually, let's pause here. So the bot lane is usually hit level 6 around this 8-minute mark. And when you have this slow push around here, Pyke should be really close to level 6. Caitlyn's already level 6. Like this is you have such a massive power spike here, and the map allows for you to look to contest this Herald. I would even prioritize the Herald, given the map state we have, like the temporary lead we have on the map in terms of tempo with the Pyke move. I would just this is red buff and just fight for the Herald right now.
I think we also saw that Sedge was like 50% HP too, so she can't even fight.
Yep. Okay. The skirmish ends up happening. Yep. This obviously looks really good. Giant goes top. This camps up. Okay, we found the crump. It's fine. I would like to look to catch this Jhin on the slow push. Maybe dive. This again, we have no business going back to our recall to the Herald side because again, everyone in mid lane recalling, top lane dead. It's like, yeah. So what Caitlyn and you are pinging is correct. Yep. Try to catch this Jhin. Francine on river. And who's she moving with? Ryze? Okay, that's dangerous. Yeah, just leave. Yeah, she has to die. Yeah, she has to die.
I completely forgot about Ryze.
Yep. This is really good map movement. I like this. We were intending to trade for the Herald, but actually Caitlyn is really slippery. Awesome, this is looking really good. Yep, perfect. They're being pushed down further towards bot side. They're getting chunked. We can fight this. We have top push again. Awesome. So this is the time. Okay, we actually check tab. What you want to check in tab for is the Pyke flash. Because Pyke flash, okay, she just used it. Because this is the time when Pyke flash becomes really important. Because what we want to do with the Herald, in Drake in 1 minute, obviously we want to get to bot side of the map ASAP. We have flash, we have ult. But what I always like to check for here is the support ult, especially support flash, especially if they are running like an engage support like Nautilus, Pyke, something like this. But we also saw that Pyke traded Sums with the Jhin, who doesn't have Gale Force yet. So yeah, I think ditch the Crump, head straight to bot side of the map. To fight this Drake, and get use of the Herald. Because right now, okay, so this is important. So why I'd like to recall right now is because I see this Pyke recalling here. So you can match his recall, and you can match his movement speed to the bot side of the to the bot lane actually, and then you can just like kind of explode
Oh
from
yeah,
the
I can
fog.
help him ward then. I can help
Yeah,
him
yeah.
like look for picks and
Yep,
ward.
and you can just like walk with him. It's just really important, like synchronizing recall timers with the important members of the team, and this obviously becomes way more important when you start utilizing Baron, for example. You always want to
Yeah, for Baron
sync
especially.
recalls, yeah. But this also applies to support roams, obviously, and even bot lane recalls. For example, you gank bot lane, you get a double kill. Just try to sync your recalls so you can actually walk back with them and regank the bounce if that's something you want to do. But yeah, syncing recalls and kind of being aware of the are we creating for Nashos here?
I think so.
Yeah.
But it's not worth it because it would be too late by then to come
Wait,
for Drake.
how much is it? 1250? Is it
1150,
1150? Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Now you just need to recall. Like, yeah.
But yeah, now it's too late.
But are you running magical footwear?
Yes.
Okay, so it's whatever. You're basically missing amplifying tome if you don't recall. So it's fine. I don't have an issue with this extended sequence yet. It's actually really good since we didn't have the gold. Yep, we get a
Like
pick
you said,
before
I
Drake.
should recall it earlier with the Pike's synchronized
Yeah,
recall.
Yep, that would have been perfect.
But this is just like the second best solution.
Yep. But yeah, this is important to kind of add into your playbook, like synchronized recalls, especially when you have a roaming support player like this Pyke. So what happens when this Pyke recalls? He becomes a huge question mark. It's like a Shaco right on the map. Like it's just like a huge question mark. The enemy team's like, oh,
Yeah,
where is he?
like
Where
a
is
good
he?
support.
Yeah. And then you roll up from the fog with him. Okay, he's showing really aggressively going towards top. Perfect. We decide not to recall. We just have to look for the play. Look for the Herald. Again, the enemy team can't really respond. We have to be careful of the Rise since he has TP. Yep,
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ping
good
miss.
pings for the Karma. Yep. Just waiting out of vision in case Traverse is forwarded. Awesome, perfect. Renekton TP cancelled? What? Renekton TP cancelled by Gangplank? What the fuck happened there? How is that possible? Actually, how is it possible?
That's a good point. I don't know. I didn't realize.
Oh wait,
No,
no,
it's not
it's
Ren. It's
yeah,
it's
it
Rise
was
TP. Yeah,
recall. Yeah,
never
Rise
mind.
TP. Yeah, well, I was fucking confused. I was like, what? Okay, okay. What happened here?
I think in hindsight, when I like reviewed this, I think I should have ran to my Karma for the shield. But I was thinking I'd rather just like tell my team to like back off and let me die. But
Mm,
I forgot about my Karma shields, so she
yeah,
probably could have saved me if I walked to her.
yeah, probably she has ult. Okay, so yeah, I think you just get mind controlled by this Pyke lot here. So if this Pyke didn't go a bit earlier, what I would do here is I would drop the Herald before the fight even starts. So that's basically,
Yeah, and then
uh,
break the tower first and
yeah,
then go. Yep.
yeah, or not even that, but like to guarantee, since we are this late in the game, like it's not likely that there's gonna be another moment present when you get as good Herald as what this is now. So before the fight
Yeah,
even
yeah.
breaks out, we should just wait for the Karma. Obviously, it's Pyke's fault, kind of, and just pop the Herald before we even start fighting. It takes 1 second to summon, and then you can still kill this Karma. It's like no big deal, right? You lose 1.5 seconds,
Yep.
and we get a bit mind controlled by here. I mean, it's a good pick,
I think
but
Pyke
then
going on like
this is
yeah,
bad.
the E on
Yeah,
the Jin is bad. Yep.
yep.
Because I
Ka-
could have just dropped Herald after killing Brand.
That's right. So yeah, just wait for the team. Since we had a move here coming, but they had a TP, so obviously they win the move.
That's like remember how I was saying like ability users and like team fights and stuff. I like one thing I've noticed in my own reviews is I really like I need to like stop like using my E, like my second D where it goes on CD, because I become so useless when I don't have my E. Like you saw there, I E'd on the Bren and then I E'd on the Jin and it went on cooldown. But if
Yeah.
I just held and waited for Q,
Yep, I mean that's
like
yeah, and in general, just be more patient. We know this guy is coming. We can just wait. We can just
yeah,
let this TP
there's
come
no
through.
reason to rush this and E in it,
Yep,
take a tower shot and all that, because we have 4 people and
yep,
he's a
exactly.
Jin.
Yep,
It's just so rushed.
yep, and it's like I don't think this Rise even has Rod of Ages. It's like it's not a big deal if you are only not getting by the turret and getting shelled by the Karma. It's just like really easy. And then we just wait. Again, we would be waiting uh for the pike cooldowns, which are upload right here. Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's also true. We could wait for
Yep.
the pike
It's just
cooldown of his
patience.
E.
Just patience in skirmishing. Patience, patience, patience. Especially when we know we have a man moving from mid lane. We pinged him like it's our fault that he's moving. Kind of
Yeah,
fault
yeah.
is not the right word I'm looking for here. It's like we achieved that this guy's moving with our pings. Like so just might as well wait for the guy who we
Yeah,
advise to move here. Yep.
I've noticed a lot of that. I'm like especially since I only play engaged champs like Diana and Hecarim, I notice I'm really impatient on like waiting for a
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
time instead of just rushing in.
Yep. So this is what I like, especially about this, like the way you hug this wall, because this is the brush they usually want, right? If this was
Yeah,
wadded, you'd already be getting hit by Brand here. So yeah, I really like this, but then yeah, obviously it goes bad. What I want to actually look for here is your right click. The right click is also actually kind of all over the place here. See now you're pinging. Just gonna do slow here. So you can see. Okay, you're watching the map now. You can see how in Narnia your cursor is. So what I like to do, I'm mostly a Grace player, is I spam my A all the time. So the A gives me the attack range, of course, but it shows me like the on Graves is kind of like a sweet spot for me. I always look to have my cursor in this area out of my character, unless I'm obviously aiming a skill shot. For example, here you're kind of like going to queue these guys. Obviously, go over the people you want to use skill shots on. But like before that, like just this is I think this is like
yeah,
something you can improve with your mechanics. It's like, for example, when you're walking in this brush, like we should be expecting that this is warded, and we have to be ready to dodge the brand the moment it shows up, the brand queue. But when your
yeah,
cursor is all the way here, like you're looking, do I need to look here? You don't really need to look here. You can just hold space and just keep your clicks really tight so you are ready to move and dodge the queue,
yeah. It
because that's
slows
gonna
my
delay you a
reaction
lot.
so much.
Yep.
Yep.
So let's look through your clicks throughout this. Yep. I mean, now we are obviously really tight since we are melee range. Okay. But in general, it's just a good rule. Always keep a tight cursor. Always, always, always. It's really good. Helps you when you get used to like constantly having really tight clicks. You easily become mechanically so much fucking better. Like it's not even funny.
Yeah, your clicks become so precise, and then you can just dodge. Like you don't get minion blocked. You can like
Yep,
path
exactly.
around it instead of letting the game decide your pathing by clicking far away.
Yep, 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 yep. So yeah, so now we have to basically look to Rift mid, which you communicate with your team. Awesome. That's really good. Yep, just run mid, pop Herald. Are you waiting for plates? What did you say in chat? I'd be looking for the plates here because these guys are the moment you see all these guys coming back to the bot lane, they are really extended the play. We have this guy still pushing the top wave, top turret. Just like run straight mid. We see Brand popping up again. It's gonna be probably Jin. Jin actually goes mid, but Jin is not gonna stop you from using Herald on this mid. So when we spawn with like minute left until plates drop, you can easily make
Yeah,
it to the mid turret.
yeah. We should rush it so that we don't lose opportunity.
Yep, to get plates. Awesome, good stuff. Yeah, because now we lost the plates. We can still look for the play. Let's have Gale Force. Well, we're gonna find out shortly. Get hit by the E, kind of unfortunate, whatever. Another flash being blown. Do we still get the Herald actually?
Yeah,
Awesome. Nice. Really good. Yep. I like this. So the reason why I like this so much that you decide to really fast stop with the chase is that the play is already being done in bot. It's done. It's over. It's dusted. There's nothing you can do. So might as well just try to utilize the Baron. I mean the Herald, and even if you lose the play, just take the turret. Mid turret is really good to have. Like if you get a mid turret for free, it's always a good thing, right?
Yeah, and the wave and
So even
the
if this
camps
spike doesn't kill
afterwards.
even if this spike doesn't kill everyone, literally everyone, just like don't even take the risk of running down there. Like they're just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, I
get
would
away.
never.
Yep,
Yep.
perfect. This guy now dies. Okay, good. We get tier 2. Look to invade instantly. Get some camps off. Probably gonna be. Yep.
When I was so like right during this moment in the game, I thought this game was over because I got 2 towers. I killed Sejuani twice. I got all our camps, but then somehow I threw the game.
Will we lose this?
Yep, we lost this game.
Interesting. Okay, let's see. Yep. This is
Because like you said, we outscale, we scale well, and with the early game's looking so good.
Yep. I'd like to know when does the next when is the Herald's gonna spawn? 60 minutes, right?
Yes. Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay. So here is where I would justify being greedy. I would justify being greedy and taking all these camps. Because this is a moment in the game where you got massively ahead, right?
Yeah.
And you don't really need to fight unless there is a fight to be had. So like you making this recall is basically, oh, now I'm ready to fight. But you want to just tell your team, okay, let's not fight, let's just farm up, last hit minions, and wait for the Herald. Because that's how you win games. That's how you like close out games when you are winning. The enemy team is the one who wants to pick the fights. They want to fucking do the Hail Mary play, right? That's
Yeah, they
that's
want to flip something,
yeah.
or else they will lose.
Because now you see, okay, so this is a big problem in the gameplay here, is that we are moving towards Herald with all our bot camps up. So this is bad for several reasons. The one reason is that when we are ahead, of course, they probably don't even want to contest this, right? If they are smart players, they probably don't want to contest this at all because we have all the power in the world right now. So what they can do when you leave these camps up by doing this recall is that now the Sejuani has an opportunity to trade this Herald for these camps, right? And you obviously don't want to do that. So I would just be taking these camps, just tell my team, relax, wait for Herald. And what you could do is you could get these 5 camps, or you could get these 3 camps for starters. You could spend this 300 extra gold, and then you would move towards Herald, take these camps, and then you would have the Herald and nothing to lose, basically.
Yeah. I
So
think I
like,
could have got my mythic if I full cleared there. If I continued clearing up.
yeah. I mean, you obviously have to recall since you have 2.5k gold, but you
Yeah,
could definitely fit in those bot side camps there.
that's true.
So that's like a what's it called? Like a ideal situation is always when you go for an objective, you have nothing to be traded for the objective on the opposite side of the map in terms of camps. So that's like the ideal you always want to have. So if you have
Yeah.
an opportunity like this, just take the camps, because that leaves the enemy with no options, literally no options, but to coin flip the fight, which in a losing game, which obviously should result in more bleeding towards their team. So Caitlyn gets picked here. Yep, just the Herald. Fuck that. It's probably not gonna happen. Wait, how is it? We're like 40, 30, 40 seconds here. Okay. Never mind, actually. Let's look at this again. It's slow. He probably has bounty. He should have a bounty if everything is. Yep, 150 bounty. Pick there. Yep, turned out really well, actually. Why I didn't want to go for this? I didn't see the Renekton health. I didn't know he was so low. So yeah, obviously this is good. He's really low health. Get a free pick, bounty. These guys are giving the others busy. You cannot be focus fired in Renekton W and instantly die. Yep. But like you have to be always like, so in teamfight scenario, you have to be really careful of this like lockdown comps. You are playing a Sejuani, Brand, Renekton. Like it's really fucking easy to chain CC on you, right?
Yeah, and the Jin.
Yep, and Jhin as well. So obviously, like, yeah, I mean, this is an individual like situation. So here it is completely fine to do this. Like in once the real team fighting starts, like the front to back kind of shit, you have to be aware of the CC chain started by Renekton. Yeah, we can check show. Come can stay to deny the sneaky herald message Johnny if there's a possibility. Actually, decide to go for the Drake. Okay, could we have created this herald then? What's the Sejuani situation? Can't quite see. To be fair, Sejuani Jin cannot fight you and Karma. What's the timer? It's like 40 seconds to Drake spawn. I would just take this herald. Just take herald and spawn.
I was
Two.
just scared if in case like Ryze has TP and then my Pyke's like 1 HP with no ult.
Okay, that's true. That's fair. If Pyke does have TP. But if yeah, if Ryze has TP. But if
And I was thinking if I just reset here and go for Drake, the game's a guarantee one. Instead of like flipping if we track Ryze TP timer or not.
yeah. Okay, so what I don't like about this this sequence is that again we are kind of doing what we did with the red side camps before. We are leaving something to be traded by the enemy on the opposite side when we are like hardcore winning.
Yeah. We're giving them like equal
Yep,
equal
you're like giving
opportunities.
yeah, you're giving him
Yeah, we're
opportunities.
just trading even for even.
Yep.
Drake for Herald.
Yep, you always don't want to handshake when you are this far ahead. You always want to deny them by matching them.
Yep.
Match and deny is the key to winning a game where you are winning. Yep. Okay, so here we want to just keep the mid wave neutral, and we want to wait for the GP.
Yeah.
Good, you
that's
ping
what
it.
I'm pinging here.
Awesome. GP TP spot side. Try to get some mid prior here. So the reason why I don't want for this play to extend for too long is because we have a timer on the herald. So let's see,
Yeah.
can we execute this fast enough? Also, we are being pressured in the top wave here. They push out the mid. Smart move. So there's another general macro rule for like these mid to late game situations when lanes are being abandoned. Right, we have lanes being abandoned in top, and we have lanes being abandoned in mid. So the way you get neutral passive, what am I saying? Neutral pressure in these lanes without even without having any players show up on these waves is if you push them over the river. So if you push them over the river, you're gonna have immense pressure on this wave, and you're also gonna deny this kind of pathway into walking into objectives. So if you look at something like,
mid right now.
yeah. So if you look at something like professional play, for example, they always enter from where they have the minions. So when we push these minions over the river there, they're gonna start stacking. They're gonna start slow pushing. Someone has to respond to the wave, or someone has to claim the wave. Otherwise, they're gonna just bleed out so much gold when they are already behind. So ideally, you never want to have neutral waves in mid to late game. You always want to have them pushed over the river, at least. And that's literally the mark where you have to push them over the river. Because now this wave is just like really bad. Like we gain nothing from this wave. Obviously, we have buffed minions here probably since we have a hard winning bot lane. So minion buffs is another thing to take into consideration. But basic macro is just like push over river.
Yeah. I think this was the game where my patience like died in this team fight, as you can see.
I think you should have died right here actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, just 1 and 1v5 with no vision.
Yeah. So this is the CC chain I was afraid of.
Yeah.
Ryze EW. Renekton
Or
probably has
Brand
Borg here,
and then
W,
Sedge.
Bard,
Yeah.
Bard. It's like not Bard, fucking Brand. Yeah, you should die right here. That's right. But yeah, then we make sure we die. So you can
Yeah.
you can see here like it's so fucking disgusting the CC chain this team offers. So you really have to be like when you go for these kind of engages when you're playing Sejuani, you really have to like make sure your team is able to follow up instantly. They have to be really up there because now
Yeah.
if you look
They're
at where
way
your
too
team
far
is,
here.
they are fucking in
Yep.
Narnia compared to you, and you are like these 5 players can instantly focus fire you, and you just die instantly. It doesn't matter how many tank items you have, how much ahead you are and go. Like you see what happens here. Like it's miserable. So yeah, this is obviously a really big throw.
Yep.
So how I would approach this situation is that they are obviously conceding. They are obviously conceding the river pressure here. So how
Yeah,
you
they all walk out, so I could just
yeah.
chase down Renekton and then set up vision and go for Herald.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
But instead, I'm just forcing for no
Yep.
reason.
So again, patience in the team fighting and skirmishing phase. That's really it for this game. And just like think about the fucking CC they have and the bulk Renekton just spreads through you anyway.
Yep.
So the best way to approach this is to catch this mid wave, push in the next mid wave, kind of like start walking towards them. They have to either try to fight you or concede you, or concede the vision, or I mean, this is obviously the worst case scenario what we do here. But like just have patience, have patience.
Yep.
Just get the mid push. Just try to work through just try to work towards the vision here. Because this is the throw where we lose the game actually, for sure.
Yeah. That's right. That's the main thing I noticed.
Yeah.
When I reviewed.
So when you have a head like this is a really good game I think because it's been like what's the word? It's been like a calm game, like a balanced game. Like there's nothing crazy going on, but then the way we throw it is just like so disgusting here.
Yep.
I feel like this has been uh, a really restricted game for our diamond game. Like I don't know, are you games normally like this peaceful kind of like chilling?
Usually really peaceful.
Okay.
Because usually I always like I like always really like ping well so that my team never dies like dumb like full clear ganks or
Yep.
like level
Exactly.
2 J4 ganks.
Yeah, that's really great. I mean, the pings are obviously really good in this game. I agree. I agree with you here.
I think this game was like maybe like mid masters. I think though like season 12 rank.
Okay.
Season 11. I mean season 13. It was
Yeah, I mean,
we're in a new season, right? So
yeah,
reset.
yep, yep. I, mean, I still think even for Masters game, I think this is a kind of a calm game. In my
That's
experience,
the type of games I love. The
yep,
super calm games.
yep,
That's why I
same,
like practice so much on my picking to make sure this happens.
yep,
Because of course Hecarim and Dyna love to just full clear and just scale up.
yep, of course. The thing is when you start moving to even higher brackets, the losing team isn't playing this calm. They yeah, like they are just letting you match them. They are just like not giving any camps. They are just like so what normally would happen is that Sejuani would literally sack half of his jungle for the entirety of the game when he realizes he's behind and just like permagank this bot lane, just abuse summoners and just try to create unfair fights because this game has been like extremely like fair fights, right?
Yeah. But they all forward, they try to contest us at Drake and then they realize they couldn't, so they wasted their time. Then they
Yeah.
try to contest mid and then they also wasted their time again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like yeah, so when you're moving into higher level of play, obviously these games become more difficult even when you are winning because the enemy team goes into more
Yeah, you're like full fiesta.
yeah they like just there's a like double down on the Hail Mary playstyle, right? There's go they have to do desperate things. Like here we just give them the win with that massive fucking throw in diving into 5 people with no one able to follow us. So
Yep.
yeah. So if we just played more patience, this game would have been won. Absolutely. But let's see. I mean, it's not lost yet, but it's obviously a game of shit or more difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, like a end of review mistake.
Yep, definitely. Yeah.
Because the game just got unnecessarily so hard.
Yeah. And it's sad because it was such a well played game by you. I think it was.
I know, yeah, the early game was so good.
That was really good.
Usually my games are like this though. Usually almost always I get a lead, but then just somewhere I throw it. And that's usually in team fights.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's definitely something you have to look into the future. Oh, look into the future. That sounded weird.
And then this is the
Oh,
end of it. This is the end of it. I
oh,
didn't kill anyone here.
yeah. And again, the CC. The CC is disgusting. You have to think about the CC. Even when you are
Yep.
playing a tanky champs, it's like unless you're playing Mundo or Garen, it's just like always. This is such a disgusting CC comp. You just have to really carefully play. Like you have to try to engage on cooldowns, kind of. Or just like really kind of like dead plop your team. I know it sounds funny against Brand, but you just really have to stick really close to each other because the big potential in the enemy team is really fucking massive, especially if you decide to just dash in. Yep. Okay. I mean, the game is still winnable. Let's see. I think at this point we are arriving pretty much equal in gold. So now this is more like an even game at the moment. Let's see. So I wouldn't be too worried about this Drake anymore. Like at this point, we've been getting shit on for like 3-4 team fights in a row. Again,
Yeah.
we should have died there. I think let's just pull the trigger and kill you. At least you have to use flash. Maybe you're holding flash. Maybe you have insane reflexes. I mean that's good. I mean you can definitely react to Sejuani ult. So no biggie there. Yeah. It's a good ult to negate his engage. GB's on now coming in. This is the thing I don't like about Tank Diana. Like I just feel like this build deals disgustingly low damage. Like I don't know.
It used to be nice with Nashor Sunfire last season, but
Yep.
now with Jaxo it does 0 damage.
Yeah. The check shot was nice when it during the preseason, but now it's just like kind of a shit item. So Herald mid. To buy time, I assume. What I would do with the Herald? Are you running out of Herald right now?
Yeah, like 20 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds. Just go and use it on the bot side. Just straight up use it on the bot side because that buys you pressure again on like the Bamron play. So you can go set up vision, you get a recall, then you can like dead plop into the vision area and just try to get the vision down. Because obviously against a team comp like the enemy, you just fucking lose if you have to face Jackeppa.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to try to create some sort of pressure. And again, we have a neutral wave in here. Let's see how long this wave has been neutral. No one has touched this wave.
Bot.
This is so sad. I mean, it's a Steam macro, honestly, but so this guy pushed it in at 20 minutes. Well, it's not too bad. It's been the 3 minutes. But yeah, definitely now. Do we have TP in this team? Karma has TP?
Yes.
I mean, the bot wave is just sad, but it is what it is. Now we kind of, yeah, but the thing is, like, now we basically cannot afford to even try to touch this wave anymore because we cannot play for TP in the comp like this. This also applies to some Shrelia comps. Ramus, for example, Kled ults, like it's really easy to get caught out really, really fast. And when the only person in TP with TP in a team right now is the Karma, well, GP is gonna have TP soon. But it's like GP also has to be the one to protect the vision line with his barrels.
Yep.
So it's kind of difficult to play for TP even in this game. But yeah, since the Baron is only now the only objective up, just like try to keep top mid neutral, or at least neutral, preferably pushing. Let's just try to set up the vision. Wait for your team again. Okay. I don't wanna start it. Are you pinging to start it?
No,
What?
just Herald. I mean Ward.
The what? Yep. I don't know if the board does anything here. You can just leave it
Yeah,
ping.
it was pinked anyways, but I thought there was
Yeah.
nothing else to do.
Yeah. I mean, this is a bit
No
risky.
camps up, no
Yeah.
crab up.
It's like, and you know, the moment you start hitting disabled wards, they become enabled. So it's just like
Yeah.
a bit of free information. So what people usually do is they start throwing around more wards. They start using more utility to get like vision on the Baron when you keep this information unknown, right?
Yeah.
So just don't hit it. No point. That's a really small detail, but again, like they will have to use something to regain vision there. Yep. Now it's just approach the normal Baron dance, run the waves. Karma is now moving towards spot. Yep. So this is the situation where I want you to tell your laners when they go for these irrelevant lanes, because basically the bot lane is the bot wave here is like being irrelevant. How much time do we have? Oh, actually a bit over, but it's fine. Let's talk over this. Uh, so this is when you want to tell your laners, for example, this Karma, just push bot over river and then move up. Just shift up towards mid, shift up towards Baron. And then you don't need to touch this wave until someone actually has a split push threat. Because
Yeah.
when the only objective is Baron, of course, the relevant waves are top mid, because they are the ones which again cover entries to the objective area. So this is a useless wave. But if we can push it over river when we have TP, yes, it's good, because then we're gonna find a pushing wave in the top side, and which we can maybe use to get a tier 2 if we get a Baron, something like that. So it's always good to push these waves, but it's not worth to start pushing this over the river or like start splitting unless you're playing a really like a splitting champ.
Yeah. Usually after they like so after Karma like shoves out that last way, I'd like danger ping them to not go any further.
Yep.
Because
Good.
they could like easily collapse on her or something.
Yep. Exactly. Again, like the ward thing, it's kind of whatever. Okay, now start TPing. GBS flash. Nice. Yep. Karma's moving up. Shove mid. That's all there is really. We just want to keep shoving this mid. Keep this control over here we have. Okay. Now there's control. So now we start showing mid. And we try to regain the vision control. This is obviously a really difficult part of the game when you are not in a coordinated environment, of course. But like this is perfect what we are doing right now. I would just stick with my team honestly, because again this is like this is the high pick high pick big
Team comp
chance,
enemy.
yeah, big team
Yeah.
comp, yeah. I would just hover over this over my ADC and Karma here, because if they get flashed by Sejuani, they're just dead, and then we cannot collapse at all. We do have TP on GP right now, so if he actually just hover nearby, we could look to even turn. Like basically, when you are allowed to hit these crux here, is when your team starts resetting. They need to reset. They get more pings, whatever. Then you can go for this. But when your team is really like hard hovering this mid play here, it's just like we can look for the pick, they can look for the pick, we can look to turn, stuff like that. Especially when we. So if you look at the top wave now, I mean the bot wave now, look what happened and how far she pushed it. It's fucking broken. Push wave over river. It's gonna have neutral pressure in a minute. Look at this. Someone has to respond to this.
Yeah.
So that's like a really important trick because all the time when Drake is up, top lane is gonna get neglected. When Baron is up, bot lane is gonna get neglected. So always just like go for the over the river, and then you don't need to touch it anymore at all. Someone has to respond to it at some point. and now Rise has to push it even more. So now would be the time to regain the vision control here. Also, I'd probably just sell my Darkseer to get pings. Always get pings for Baron.
Baron.
I normally don't buy much pings at all, but I always do for Baron. Always. Unless I have obviously a really big buy. But if I have something like a fucking cloth armor or Darkseer laying in my inventory, clogging up the space, just sell it. Okay, GP gets caught. Rice is now pushing. So do you feel like this part of the game is like difficult for you, or is this like just a kind of a
Could you
comp
repeat
thing?
that?
Do you think like this part of the game is like being difficult to you right now, or is this like how do you think about this part of the game? Like the whole fucking 5-minute Baron dance we've had so far. Like do you feel like you should have been doing something else?
I feel like I kind of just lost all my options in this game after I just threw my lead. Feels
Yeah.
like now I'm like just at the mercy of like what if the enemy team throws.
Yeah. Yep, basically. So basically, you're at the position you gave them by doing the throw before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, all we can do basically is just try to wait for them to do the Diana play. Soul is spawning. It's not too bad. The team can hold them back pretty well. I honestly think, yeah, let's see the next team fight. Actually, I'm interested in what you do because we kind of have to play for peel here. Because they have such a disgustingly strong CC engage comp. Scat towards team, nice. So again, you can do that. We have to play for the peel because we have such a strong backline here, backline DPS. We have GP, we have Caitlyn. They have a lot of damage. They have a lot of items. You just can't do that. Like I think what you did before, when you did not Renekton on engage with the ult, that was good. So he cannot actually go and dive your backline. I think that was really good. But now this just makes no sense because GP has no barrel setup here. If GP was stacking barrels here, then this is fine because then you can blow off with GP barrel. But obviously, again, your DPS is in Narnia. You're playing tank Diana.
Yeah.
So like,
And I don't think this I don't think me like engaging even if they were like in auto range to like fight. I don't think this fight's good either because we like my team basically just they're all like poke champs, right? They just want to poke in like
yep,
GP Barrel and Karma Cube. I don't need a hard engage like this because we're not engaged. We're not like a Samira Nautilus.
that's right. Yep.
So I think that was like my main mistake here. I'm not like
Yeah.
even though my champ's identity is to hard engage in, my team's isn't. So I should play to them.
Yep, exactly. And we have such a strong like backline DPS here, like
Yeah,
so
because we have
disgustingly
full
strong.
Caitlyn traps on that top entrance, but then on this entrance we can just GP Barrel hover and Karma Q hover and Caitlyn
Yeah,
hover,
man.
and
Yeah.
they just can't walk up.
Yeah, I mean
But
here
instead
you're
I just
just
gave
like
them
straight
free
up
entry.
creeping your team. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the sad part too. My team played so well this game, but I just like threw it.
Yeah. I think everyone played well this game, but obviously we had a lot to do with the. Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard because this comp isn't probably something you are used to. It's like really strong backline comp you have here. GP Caitlyn, they just want to sit back, they want to kite back, they want to
Yeah, like pure like poke like
yeah,
disengage
yep,
comp.
yeah, exactly. They have no
Almost
heals to
never I get this. Yeah,
they have no heals to
so
sustain. So
I'm
yeah,
just not like familiar with it, to like
yeah,
how they play
exactly.
it. But once
Yep.
I think about it, like I did there, I can like understand what they want.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's still something I struggle with sometimes when especially when I'm playing games where I'm no longer the win con because I'm a win con player myself. I love being the win con. I think that's when I win the most games. But when someone else is like becoming the win con, I don't have so much gold, whatever. Like someone has outscaled me basically in value. Then it's like it can get really difficult for me to sometimes recognize that. Oh shit, I just need to cater for my team here.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's obviously
Because in
something.
this game too, I felt strong, but then now that I threw the lead, I should have been thinking about myself.
Yep. Yep. So just like open the tab, see who the fuck here honestly has the damage. and then like really think like how do we want to fight this? Yeah. So that's obviously a really important thing. You see, you're kind of like playing this like you were a full-fed AP Diana here,
Yeah.
like this engage and the previous engage and the engage before that. So yeah,
I was like playing like that and hoping that I have a Shen on my team
yeah,
and like other stuff too, but I have
yeah. And
nothing.
you just get like blown up so fast because they have such a disgusting comp. And like this guy, this Renekton he went walk into Cleaver, like it's disgusting, bro. Like you literally gotta jump into him. He instantly kills you.
Yep.
Bryce is obviously getting really fucking strong here. Yeah. I guess we just fail at like recognizing what the win con is like later on in the game here, like how we need to play out these team fights.
Kinda expected this from myself because most I would like when I used to do all my reviews like on my own. Most of them I like purely focus on the early game, so I never even get to like these stages of the review. I just because I had already thrown the game so much by like 5 minutes, like back when I was
Yep.
like plat and gold.
Yeah, exactly.
So like my team fighting and like my like late game like macro stuff is like really behind for my like for my elo, but that's
Yep.
just that's kind of expected with the way I went about the game.
Yeah, that's like something you said you've been insulted before. Yeah, that's like something Nathan
Yeah,
does all the
like
time. So he coaches the early game basically. I mean, the early game is obviously the most important thing about playing the
exactly.
game. But
It's not bad to focus on that first,
yeah, and I think especially
but
for
not
like lower ranks, it's really important to just like keep focus on the early game because they make so many fucking mistakes. The early late game doesn't even matter because if you just didn't make so many fucking mistakes during the early game,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Like
That's what I
when
wanted to not make the mistake of,
yeah,
and then
so
now I should surely like transition over.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like just start looking at the team fight. Start looking at like how you play these fights. Like how do I win this fight? How do I lose this fight? Like what's going on here? It's like start focusing more on the team fighting aspect of the game because obviously it's being or the win con. I think the win con condition here, or like recognition here, is like really lacking in terms of like what happened early game. Like early game was obviously really fucking strong. There were some mistakes there as well, but like overall, I'd say it was really strong. But obviously here we just kind of grief the game. We get too impatient in skirmish and team fight phase. I think the biggest takeaway is just wait for your team. Wait for your team and just try to think about what the fight will look like, what we need to watch out for as a team, because these team fight phases are entirely different from skirmishing, right? Because the
Yeah,
whole
like how
fucking
I think
team.
about like how I think about early lanes, like how early lanes will go. I should think about that for team fights.
Yep,
Like
exactly.
just
Yep.
visualize it in my head.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do they want to do? What do we want to do? How do we like win this? So obviously, you
Yep.
win this by getting some GP and Caitlyn poke there and some trap set up, and then you just try to peel for your team with the just deny the dive from Renekton, who is obviously a massive threat to your backline. But what ends up happening is that he becomes a really big threat for your backline because you just into him, and then he has a free engage after. Like you are the only thing standing between your backline and Renekton basically.
Yeah.
So that's something we would have had thought about in this game. Also, the Herald, you can see 30 minutes in the game we were hard winning. We only have one tier two, which is the mid lane. Gives half the gold compared to these turrets. So obviously, always prioritize the side lane tier two turrets, especially with the second Herald here we had, which we just threw mid. I mean,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
knee jerk.
it was kind of a panic thing. I think you saw it was running out, and maybe you think you would make it over to the other side of the river. Uh, I'm actually gonna make fucking notes about this. I don't know why I haven't been making notes. This has been such a good review. Mm, so yeah, prioritize side lane tier two turrets. So basically, I don't know how much you've thought about how sieging goes in this game, but basically, when you start pushing out these side lane tier turrets, even if the mid lane tier two turret is standing, like this is the one you take last, basically the mid lane. Because when you start pushing out these turrets, you start pressuring, you start threatening these turrets. What people do is they kind of abandon mid, they start rotating over here, they want to defend this turret because, oh no, they're gonna get so much gold. And then you get to free hit this turret. And then you are free hitting this turret, and then the waves runs out here, and they're like, oh no, take this turret. And then again, you can free hit this turret. Like,
Yeah.
literally how sieging works in this game is just like get the free hit turrets. When you get Baron, for example, you don't want to brute force your fucking flash and ult down their throats. You just want the free hit turrets, and that's done by pressuring at least 2 lanes at all times. Because people rotate, they get caught out in the rotation, whatever. We end up winning the game. Well, let's see what happened in this team fight. Let's see if we actually keep up making the same mistake.
It has been the same mistake every time now.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, in one team fight we got caught out. So the one where you actually used your ult correctly, which was to deny Renekton from diving your backline.
Yeah, that was a good use.
Yep.
That I was playing to like my team strength. And here's that chain CC you're talking about.
Yep,
Just
exactly.
exploded.
Yeah, but they didn't even have the Renekton, who is the biggest threat to you. When you
Yeah.
dive in Renekton W, you are dead. Like Bork and Black Cleaver is just disgusting. And look what this Caitlyn can still do to this Renekton. Like you just really have to play for this Caitlyn to be alive.
Yeah, we could have been doing this 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, if your team, if the enemy team cannot reach Caitlyn, you are like in a really fucking strong position. And what happens when you deny the Renekton double E or the dive is GB also gets a turret, a barrel on her, on him, and then again makes Caitlyn's life a lot easier.
When I saw that that Caitlyn just like one-shotting the TP Renekton there, that's when I realized how strong my team was. But I was just griefing it for them.
Yeah, Caitlyn is really fucking strong, especially right now. This patch, really fucking strong pick. I think she's getting nerfed next. At least I think she should be. But yeah, it's like ADC is overall really fucking strong at the moment, especially when like this is not like the best game possible, right? If you were like piece ahead, then yeah, you can play however the fuck you want. But it's obviously a hard game, so you have to start thinking about, okay, how do I actually like min max this team fighting phase, because you cannot just run over them, obviously. So one important thing as well on the mid to early game was when ahead, just like ideally never have anything to trade on the opposite side of the map. Camps, objectives, whatever. When you're ahead, you always want to match them, to deny them, and then you can take whatever the fuck you want. So when ahead, always try to match. When ahead, literally, ideally, never have anything on the opposite side of the map to trade. And this, like you think about it, I know you think about it because you're ping your teammates, for example, when you are doing a play on the top side, for example, you'd ping your bot lane to like, go back, go back, go back. We don't want to fight here. We are already fighting here. So it's kind of like the same concept, but it's just for your camps. But you can ping your camps to not die to the invade. Never anything else the map to trade. But that's obviously like the ideal world. There are situations where that's not possible. But like for example, was it first Herald? No, it was the second Herald when we had a shit ton of gold here. Yeah, here we should have just took the camps. So basically, how I think about, in general, how I think about how to approach this the Baron spawn phase. Like this 14 to 16 minutes is what people struggle with the most because all the objectives are down. They're like, oh, what the fuck do I do? What the fuck you do is you just try to funnel as much gold into you as possible and be as strong as possible for the team fight or the next objective
fight. That's basically my like idea. I just like tell my team like just farm safely until Drake or until objective, and then we just win.
Yep, exactly. But now we should just follow that advice ourselves and not leave these podcasts to stay here. Pause it, bro. What else did I have? What else was the? Oh yeah, the late game team fighting phase, of course. We had the skirmish or the dive here. The Herald can be around here. What happened here? So yeah, around 12 minutes. Have patience. Wait for Teams move. It's just like don't get such a hard on for the damage the what is it called fucking DPS uptime. So that's like a huge fucking issue for people in League of Legends. If you played any MMOs before, you're probably familiar with the term DPS uptime. So like people, oh, I have to deal damage all the time. Like I have to deal as much damage as humanly possible. I just have to use my cooldowns as fast as possible to minimax the damage I deal. But like just have patience. It's not it's a really hard winning fight if you just wait.
Yeah.
Let's see teams move. Also 12-0-1 had the Herald. I'd like to pop the Herald right here to help with the dive. Herald for dive before fight, so it doesn't go on cooldown. Micro-wise, there was just focus on keeping tight clicks at all times. Perma. Just
Yeah. That's a general
tight
rule.
clicks. Yep. Like get used to it. It's like yeah, it's just gonna help you fucking so much. It's not even funny. But focus on tight clicks. Late game. Let's recognize teams win condition. And like also another important thing about the team fighting phase is we didn't only fail to recognize our team win condition, but we also like failed to recognize the enemy team's win condition, which we all obviously don't want to help them achieve by diving in.
Yep.
Can dive in as Diana into Renekton with Borg Black Cleaver. Yeah, I think that's about it. Do you have any questions?
No, I think you covered everything well.
Yep. Good to hear. I'm gonna send you these notes and I'm gonna upload this VOD to YouTube, and I'm gonna send it to you after as well. And I just recommend you watch it over again. It's been a really long session, so it's just like helps you this one that didn't go as
Yep,
planned.
I'll definitely watch after.
Yep, just run it back a few times even. Also, what did you send me before? Especially for these type of students like the Bronze Russian server guy and the others, would it just be better to give them an OBGG check review like this and just tell them they need to take solo key more serious and stick to it? Yeah, that's what I was planning to do basically. But then I just started looking at what to kind of like talk more about what I want from him. But yeah, I mean, ideally, I'm not looking to coach people of that level. I prefer to
Yeah,
coach
that's what I
people
was
of
thinking.
higher level anyway. What
Because
I
even if you do try to like coach those people, it's like you just can't like give them that much useful stuff. They just have like no mastery, no like map awareness, no like camera management.
yeah, exactly. It's like such a long way to make them to get them to a level where they can like kind of start really understanding what I'm what I'm trying to tell them about, right?
Exactly. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just too overwhelmed in game.
Yep. And it's always fun to coach people who have been in the Salto program, for example, because like you'd be amazed how much like basic information Nathan has been able to drill into people's heads, like fucking so much more. It's so much easier to coach people who have been coached before. Obviously, this has been I think this has been a really good session. I think you'll get a lot of value out of this. And just like kind of think about how you'll progress with the journey. I think GM
Definitely.
probably achievable
By end of the season.
by end of the season. I think so. Maybe even on early split 2, especially. But yeah, it's gonna be a journey. But like I think we can get there. For sure.
I hope so.
Yep.
Well, Uday, thank you so much for this.
Yep. Good luck with your journey, and I'll be back with the VOD.